Hello students, welcome back to the online session. Myself Jojish, your English teacher. Dear students, today we are going to learn a new lesson from our English grammar. So the name of the lesson is verb. Okay, that is chapter 5 verbs. Verbs are very important in grammar because sometimes we can tell verbs are the backbone of English. Any sentence if we want to write or speak in English, verb is important. So without verb, we cannot frame a meaningful sentence. So verb is an important chapter in English grammar and it is an important part of speech. So first of all, let's look the definition of verb. A word used to show, a word used to describe an action, state or occurrence. A word used to describe an action, state or occurrence are called verb. So all the actions which we are doing are called verbs. Okay, all the action words are called verb. For example, eat, play, is, are, have, do, etc. These all are action words and some of the words are state verbs that we will explain. So remember, all the actions which we are doing is called action word. Eating, playing, all these are example of action. Look at this picture. Pack, pull, scrub, skate, sweep, turn, paint, push, see, skip. So many examples are there. These all verbs are action verbs which show the physical activity. Now let's see the types of verbs which we are going to learn in this class. First one is state and action verbs. State and action verbs. Second one is main and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are sometimes called helping verbs. Third one, modal verbs. Fourth one, transitive and intransitive verbs. And the fifth one, regular and irregular verbs. These 5 kinds of verbs we are going to learn in this video. First one is state and action verbs. Second one is main and auxiliary or helping verbs. Third one, modal verbs. And the fourth one, transitive and intransitive verbs. And the fifth one, regular and irregular verbs. So these are the 5 types of verbs which we are going to learn in this class. So let's see one by one. First one, action verbs. Action verbs show the physical activities. So the physical activities which we are doing, that is called action verbs. So all the actions which we are doing is called action verb, or the physical activities which we are doing, that is called an action verbs. For example, John plays cricket. John is the name of a person. Cricket is a game. So John cricket. What? John plays cricket. Play is a physical activity, so it is an action verb here. John plays cricket means John is playing cricket, so play is an physical activity, that's why it's an action verb. Next one, I run to the market. I run to the market. What is the physical activity here? Running. So run is a action verb, okay, because it shows physical activity. Next one, Jojish walked to the class. Jojish walked to the class. What is the physical activity here? Walking. So walked is the verb here and it is an example of action verb. So remember, my dear students, action verbs show the physical activities. So what all the physical activities are there? That physical activities are called action verbs. See this picture: run, play, cry, drink, look, listen, write, build, ride, knock, laugh, hug. All things are physical activities. Okay, everything, all the verbs which are shown in this picture are physical activities. So we can call these verbs as action verbs. Then what is state verbs? State verbs show the situation. State verbs show the situation. It doesn't show any action. It just show the situation. For example, I have a car. I have a car. Here verb is have. It doesn't show any action or any physical activity. So it is called, these type of verbs are called state verbs. Okay, I have a car. Raju likes chocolates. Raju likes chocolates. Here there is no physical activity. Raju likes chocolate. Likes is the verb here, and it is an example of state verb which do not show any action. It just show the situation. So one important idea is there behind of the state verbs. Don't use ing form with state verbs. We are not using ing form with state verbs. We are using ing form with uh, main verbs, or which the verb or action verbs which the verb shows the physical activities. But with state verbs we don't use ing form. Okay. Look at this picture. State verbs: see, senses, see, smell, taste, hear, feel. And for ideas: know, think, imagine, believe, doubt. For emotions: love, like, adore, care for. Attitudes: hope, want, wish. These all verbs we are using as state verbs. So remember, we don't use ing form with the state verbs. But some verbs can be used as state verbs and action verbs. But sometime we might have seen in some of the sentences, state verbs are used with ing form. In that case, some verbs can be used as state verbs and action verbs. For example, I am having dinner. I am having dinner. Have is the state verb, already we have told. But and already told, we can't use ing form with the state verb. But here we used I am having dinner. Here the meaning is different. I am having dinner in the sense I am eating dinner. Okay, so I am, at present I am eating dinner. So in that case, we use ing form with the state verb. That's why some verbs can be used as state verbs and action verbs. Okay, because that state verbs give the meaning of action verbs. Okay, Sita is thinking about him. Is think is a state verb, but thinking or about him, it becomes action there. Vivek was looking his sister. Look is a state verb, but we used ing form and it became looking. Here it means Vivek was searching his sister. That is the meaning given here. So it became the physical activity. Okay, so that is the important idea you have to remember in state verbs. Here look, common verbs with both non-progressive and progressive meaning. Progressive means continuous. The verbs which can used as continuous, that means we can use ing form or not. The first one, look. It looks cold outside. It is state verbs. But at the same time, that state verb we can use as continuous. She is looking out the window. There it shows the physical activity. So some of the verbs can show the physical activity, at the same time it can be state verbs. So that type of verbs are having the exception from the usages of ing. So that type of verbs can use in both a state verb and they can use in continuous tense, that is by using ing form. Appear. Jack appears to be tired today. State verb it is. But she is appearing on a TV show today. That means it shows the physical activity. So these are the examples. Just go through these boxes and understand the difference between state verbs and the uh, continuous form of verbs. Now the second one is main verbs. Words that show the action of subject, they can stand alone. So the action of the subject is called main verb. When we use main verb in the sentence, it can stand alone, because with one subject and one main verb we can make a meaningful sentence. So main verbs do not need any support from any other verbs, so it can stand alone. Look at this example. They wrote a letter. They wrote a letter. Wrote is the main verb here. Okay, they wrote a letter. Wrote is the main verb here, and only one verb is used here. Okay, a letter is the object and they is the subject. So the verb stands alone here. He eats apples. He eats apples, and eats is the main verb here and it stands alone. I did my work. I did my work. Did is the main verb here and it stands alone here. So words that show the action of subject. So it show the action of subject. They wrote. Who wrote? They. He eats. Who eats? He. I did. Who did? I. So it show the action of the subject and they can stand alone. These type of verbs are called main verbs. Look at these action verbs or the main verbs. Main verbs are called action verbs also. Walk, run, write, sit down, stand up, fight, laugh, read, play, listen, cry. All these are example of action verbs as well as main verbs. Now auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. They give more meaning to the main verb. They can't stand alone. So auxiliary verbs or helping verbs we are using in the sentence to give support to the main verb in the sentence. So they give more meaning to the main verb. So when main verb we use in the progressive sentence, always helping verb is needed. Helping verb is used there to support main verb. They can't stand alone. So helping verb cannot stand alone in the sentence. It always needs the support from the main verb. So there are three forms of auxiliary verbs or helping verb: be form, do form, and have form. For example, they are playing football. Here R is underlined and R is the auxiliary verb. They are playing football. And what is the main verb here? It is playing. Okay, play is the main verb, and when we used ing, it became in a progressive sentence. And when we write ing form with the main verb, always helping verb is needed. So it's duty to help the main verb or support the main verb. They are playing football. Are is the helping verb supporting the main verb playing, and we cannot use the are alone in the sentence. If we use are alone in the sentence, it will become like that: they are football. There is no meaning in that. So they are playing football. I have given my project. Have is the auxiliary verb here, which helps or which gives support to the main verb given. Okay, I have given my project. Given is the main verb here and have is the auxiliary verb. So have gives support to main verb given. Next one, she is doing her work. She is doing her work. Is the auxiliary verb or helping verb here, which gives the support to the main verb doing. She is doing her work. So look at some examples of auxiliary verb: is, are, have, has, do, does, did. These all are the examples of auxiliary verb. Just go through this picture and understand it carefully. Now we can make questions as well as negatives. Okay, we can make questions as well as negatives by using this auxiliary verb or helping verbs. Is she watching a movie? This is a question. Is she watching a movie? The normal sentence will be like that. She is watching a movie. So when we take the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence, we can frame the sentence into question. Is she watching a movie? Have you taken a lottery? Have you taken a lottery? So have. You have taken a lottery is the normal sentence. So if you want to make questions, just take the helping verb to the beginning of the sentence. Have you taken a lottery? So like that we can frame questions. I don't play football. So this sentence can be made into negative. So this already made into negative. I don't play football. Don't, do not is the negative form. So by using helping verb or auxiliary verb, we can frame questions as well as negatives. Sneha wasn't going to play. Sneha was not going to play, its meaning. Okay, Sneha wasn't going to play. It is a negative sentence. By using this auxiliary verb, we made into negative. Now, when we study about this helping verb or auxiliary verb, we should know about the linking verbs. Okay, you will be having some doubts. Sometime we use helping verb or auxiliary verb alone in the sentence. So is or are or have can come alone in the sentence. So what about that? Those type of verbs are called linking verbs. They are not helping or they are not auxiliary verbs. They are called linking verbs. These verbs do not show any action. These verbs link the subject with the information about the subject. These verbs do not show any action. This is not helping anything. Okay. We have already told helping verbs or auxiliary verbs helps the main verb in the sentence. But here linking verbs, some of the linking verbs are there. These verbs link the subject with the information about the subject. It is just telling about the subject or it is just giving the information about the subject. Let's see a few examples of that. Joe is a doctor. Joe is a doctor. Here is used as linking verb. Here is not helping verb. Joe is a doctor. What is Joe? Joe is a doctor. It is giving you the information about the subject. What is Joe? Joe is a doctor. So here is used as linking verb and it is not auxiliary or it is not helping verb. So here is came alone. So here is used as linking verb. Just give the information about the subject. You are my friend. You are my friend. Who are you? You are my friend. Are is the linking verb here, telling about the subject you. I am a student. I am a student. So am is the linking verb and telling about the subject or giving the information about the subject I. Okay. Now the third one is modal verbs. Modal verbs show mood. Mood, the attitude of the speaker. So modal verbs, many modal verbs we are using. It shows the attitude of the speaker. So it looks or it shows the mood. So how the attitude of the speaker change, we can understand through the modal verbs. For this we are using may, might, can, could, will, would, shall, should, must. All these verbs we are using as modal verbs which show the attitude of the speaker. Examples: it may rain today. It may rain today. So there is no surety for that. It may rain today. So may is the modal verb here. You shouldn't smoke here. You shouldn't smoke here. It is giving just warning. You shouldn't smoke here. You should not smoke here. We can't get to the airport in 5 minutes. This is just the attitude of the speaker. Okay, we can't get to the airport in 5 minutes. Okay, these all the examples are examples of modal verbs. They must read this letter. They must read this letter. Must is used an example of modal verb here, which shows the attitude of the speaker. Look at some examples of modal verbs in the chart. Ability, inability, informal permission, informal request, possibility, all these we are using some modal verbs. Impossibility, asking for permission, everywhere we are using modal verbs. So understand this chart. Now next one is transitive verbs. The fourth one is transitive verbs. The verbs need an object to complete the sentence. Some of the verbs need an object to complete the sentence are called transitive verbs. So by the verb alone, we cannot make the complete meaning of the sentence, or the sentence cannot be completed by using the verb alone. So some of the verbs need an object. So those type of verbs which need an object to complete the sentence are called transitive verbs. For example, Raju killed a snake. So if we stop Raju killed, killed is the verb here. If we stop Raju killed, there will be automatically one question will be there. Raju killed what? Or Raju killed whom? So transitive verbs always answer the question what or whom. So if it asks the questions what or whom, we should be sure that it needs an object to complete the sentence. Raju killed a snake. So killed is the verb here. A snake is the object here. So now the sentence is completed. We cannot stop the sentence with the verb. Raju killed. So what happened? It automatically asks the questions what or whom. Raju killed what or Raju killed whom. So the sentence wants to complete. Raju killed a snake. A snake is object and object is needed in the sentence. So now the sentence is clear. So those type of verbs are called transitive verbs. Transitive verbs need an object to complete the sentence. Otherwise it may ask the questions what or whom. Arjun threw the ball. Arjun threw the ball. Threw is the verb here. Arjun threw what? The ball. So the ball is the object here. So these type of verbs are called transitive verbs which need an object to complete the sentence. Sumit took the book. Sumit took what? The book. So the book is the object here. So took is the example of transitive verb. Now let's see the intransitive verbs. The verbs do not need objects to complete the sentence, just opposite of transitive. Intransitive is just opposite of transitive. The verbs do not need objects to complete the sentence. It doesn't require objects. Okay, it doesn't require object to complete the sentence. Those type of verbs are called intransitive. It can be finished by the verb itself. Subject and verb, if you write subject and verbs alone, we can make a meaningful sentence. Those type of verbs are called intransitive verb. It doesn't require object. I ran fast. I ran fast. I ran fast. That is one sentence. There is no object. I ran fast what? I ran fast whom? There is no questions like that. So ran is the intransitive verb. Okay, ran is the intransitive verb and it doesn't require an object, and fast is not the object. Okay, I ran. I can stop there. I ran. If I am not using fast also I can stop. I ran. So there is no other questions, or there is no other object there to complete the sentence. So these type of sentences or these type of verbs are called intransitive verb. She laughed loudly. She laughed loudly. She laughed. I can stop there also. She laughed. So there is no other expression or there is no other questions after this. So these type of verbs are called intransitive. She laughed, I ran, laughed are the examples of intransitive verbs which these verbs do not require objects. The boy is crying. The boy is crying. Okay, the boy is crying. That is thus verb is finished there, or the sentence is clear there. The boy is crying. It doesn't require any objects. So look at this box or the picture. Transitive verbs with intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs. A verb is transitive when it is followed by an object, already we discussed. Intransitive verbs, a verb is intransitive when it has no object. Example, thud, sneezed on goal. So the picture is there, elephant is there. Thud sneezed on Gul. That is the example. Who did Thud sneezed on? What is the object? Gul. Thud sneezed on Gul. Thud sneezed on what or whom? Gul. Next one. Thud sneezed loudly. Sneezed, both verb used there. One verb is used as transitive, one verb is used as intransitive. Who did Thud sneezed on? Question mark is there. No object. Okay, first one object is there, Gul is there. Second one nothing is there. It just show the expression how. Thud sneezed loudly. There is no object. First one, thus Thud sneezed on Gul. Okay, that is the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. Now the fifth one, regular verbs. The verbs that end in D, ED or IED to indicate an action in the past. So the normal verb which we want to convert into past, or which we want to write the past form of the normal verb, we have to use, sometime we have to use D or ED or IED with the given verbs to indicate an action in the past. So that type of verbs are called regular verbs. For example, walk, walked. Walk is in the present form and walked is in the past form. How we change the verb into past form? By adding ed with the given verb. When we added ed, we made into the past. Walk, walked. Dance, danced. Dance is the present form of verb and danced is the past form of verb. So when we added a single d with the given word, we made into the past form. Dance, danced. Study, studied. So study is the present form of verb. By dropping out y, we added there ied. Then we got the past form of verb study. So these type of verbs are called regular verbs, which can be formed to indicate an action in the past by using ded or ied with the given words. Look at some of the regular verbs. Look, looked. Open, opened. Paint, painted. Plant, plant. Plant, planted. Play, played. Pray, prayed. Pull, pulled. Push, pushed. Remember, remembered. These so many examples are there. Just go through this picture and understand the importance of regular verbs and how it's formed. Now the irregular verbs. The verbs that do not end in D, ED or IED to indicate an action in the past. So these type of verbs do not end in D, okay, ED or IED to indicate an action in the past. These type of verbs do not require these type of letters D, ED or IED, because to indicate an action in the past for this type of verb we are using some other words. Okay, rather than using D, ED or IED, we are using some other words to indicate the action in the past. Those type of verbs are called the irregular verbs. For example, sleep, slept. There is no D, ED or IED. Another word is there. Sleep, slept. Sleep is the present form and slept is the past form. Go, went. Go, went. Two different words are there. One is in present, one is in past. Eat, yet. So these type of verbs we cannot use D, ED or IED to show the past form. Here we have to write the separate word. Those type of verbs are called the irregular verbs. Sit, sat. Sit, sat. So two different words are there. Sit is the present form of verb and sat it is in the past form of verb. So these are the examples of irregular verbs. Sell, sold. Pay, paid. Leave, left. Blow, blew. Have, had. Send, sent. Wear, wore. Wake, woke. Wake up or woke up. Think, thought. Tell, told. So to form the past form of verb, we have to use some other words which is given there. Okay, so that type of verbs are called irregular verbs. By using D or ED or IED, we cannot make irregular verbs. We can make it regular verbs. Okay, regular verbs are called by using D or ED or IED. By using this one, we can use it's called regular verbs, okay, to show the action in the past. So I think all of you understood this lesson related to the verb. So go through the video once more and understand it better. Okay, so many pictures are given there in the video to make you to understand about the verb. So remember, verb is very important to learn. So without using a verb we cannot make a meaningful sentence, so it is very important. And I hope you understood the chapter, and thank you for watching the video, and we will be meeting you in next class. Till then, goodbye.